we fought the guards in the new world realm, whatever it is, of that we found in just his backyard. We beat them, with some of them perishing. We talked with them, and they were not very friendly. Hutch, in fact, just walked off. Wonder what he's up to. Hope he's okay. Probably not. We had some moments with each other, including me trying to talk to Felix, who is struggling with the fact that he killed a man. Yeah, that we'll unpack that at some point. But we explored the area more and found the door leading to where Savva's been staying.
Let's begin. Where we last left off, our party landed themselves in this strange, purple, swirling dimension at a castle keep, and spent some time dealing with the strange feeling of combat, of death, having some serious conversations about the nature of life and being, before making your way to the little tower at the end of the keep courtyard, where supposedly little Savva Locks waited, imprisoned. You made your way down the spiraling staircase before coming to a strange wooden door that seemed to be glowing with a purple light. Kai, as your hand touched the knob and you twisted it open, you hear the little voice go, Uncle Yos, is that you? As you step into this room, you see what appears to be a small bedchamber. The room is surprisingly well furnished. Against the back of one wall is a soft, plush bed adorned with fine red linens and a thick brown quilt. The walls are painted a soothing shade of pale blue, with a couple of little white clouds up along the corner. And a small table in one of the corners of the wall holds a tray with fresh fruit and water. There's a large, comfortable armchair by a small little pink vanity where a candelabra glows, casting a warm, purple glow over the entire room. Overall, the room gives an unsettling mix of comfort and captivity. As you step further into this space, you see a small figure sit up on a bed. She looks to be about 5 years old, with light pink skin and a tussle of dark hair covering these tiny little horns that curve backwards. With big brown eyes behind also wide-rimmed glasses, and she seems to be wearing some sort of wrinkled nightgown, but otherwise appears unharmed, if slightly cautious at the stranger that just stepped into her room.
Hey, Savva. Your parents sent us. We came to bring you home.
Uh, who- uh, who are you?
My name is Kai. I know, sorry, I'm not who you expected. Um,
Where's Uncle Yes?
so he's he sent us to come get you.
Who's us?
So I'm Kai, and these are my friends. This is Reese, Krayos,
Are you
and
all coming into the
Felix.
room?
Hi, I'm Felix. So basically, I have a roast upstairs if you want to try some of the roast. It's made out of potatoes, and I put some jerky in it. I see you've already got fruit, but I feel like this would go pretty well with fruit. What don't you think?
You talk a lot.
Well, yeah, but I just kind of like to explain things. Uh, uh, well, I guess so your name again was.
I'm Savva.
That's great. I'm Felix. I like to do potions, but I'm all out right now. Um, So like if you see like I've just got these empty bottles, I'm gonna hold a bottle towards her.
You see as her eyes go wide and she moves to almost get closer, but then she reminds herself to stay back and shrinks back against the bed.
Oh no, are you okay?
Well, your Uncle Yes said no one was supposed to come in here. He said if I left or if anyone came in, they were the bad people.
Oh, I don't think I'm a bad person. I like to help people.
You don't look bad.
Well, no, but well, when I was like younger and stuff, my mom, she would be like, "Hey, you can't track it in the mud." So like sometimes I'm bad like that, but I don't ever want to purposely hurt anyone.
Because I'm bad like that too.
Yeah, that
Mommy
makes
hates
sense.
back in the mud.
Oh, wait, you're friends with the girl that lives across the street, right? Or the boy?
Across across the street? I mean, no one lives
Yeah.
on my street. It's only old people. It gets boring.
Really? Because there was a kid and we were playing hide and
It was,
seek, and he said that
it was at
that you like to
it was
play in the
at her
cupboard.
uncle's. It was her uncle's house. We were at Felix.
Oh, at your uncle's house, hiding in the cupboard.
Yeah, you mean Balin?
Yeah, we were playing
I
earlier.
miss Balin. Uncle Yes said
Well,
that
yeah,
he would let me see Balin soon.
well,
Is he
Balin
with?
said that he misses you and wants you to come back.
I miss Balin.
Oh, we promised that we'd play hide and seek with him tomorrow, and as I whip around to Kai and the gang.
Yeah,
Do you want to play hide and seek with us tomorrow?
I like playing hide and seek with Balin. He knows all of my hiding spots.
Well, watch this. And I'm going to use a minor illusion to create almost like an invisible wall in front of it, like in front of her. It's 5 foot by 5 foot, but hopefully that at least gives some coverage. But it just looks like the backdrop of the wall that she or of the room that she's in.
Her eyes go really wide behind her glasses, and she goes,
I think we could win.
"Can you teach me how to do that?"
Absolutely no problem. So the first step is you have to go to the attic of the shop. And then the next step is you have to find a bottle, kind of like this one. And I'm gonna pull out my special bottle. And then you have to talk with the guy inside. And I don't remember a lot of what happened in between, but then I could do this.
That's cool.
So yeah, I could take you to Bart's shop if you want, and we could try to find another one of these bottles.
Well, see, I'm not supposed to go places with strangers, but maybe if we became friends, I could come with you.
Oh, we're already friends, aren't we?
No,
Oh, because I didn't introduce myself. I'm Felix.
I know. You all really should go before Uncle Yes gets back.
Well, he can be friends too. If he wants to play hide and seek, he's more than welcome to.
I mean, he's really good at hide and seek.
Well, I could talk to him.
I mean, I can talk to him too.
Okay, awesome.
Where is
So
he?
why don't you talk to
Who
him?
said he
What?
sent you?
No, the parents and a woman named Kara. Do you know who Kara is?
I don't think so.
She's a tiefling, and she has gold eyes and red skin, and she wears a lot of red leather, and sometimes she has a knife, but she didn't hurt anyone with it, as far as I know.
I'm not
And
allowed to
then
be around knives.
she said that your parents were looking for you.
Would
Oh,
they be
wait,
looking for me?
there's a picture of you. Hi, you have a picture of her, right?
Yes, I do.
As you hold up the missing person poster, you see her little hands reach out and she grabs it and she looks at it. And then she cocks her head and you see a wave of confusion. But I'm not missing. Why does it say I'm missing? That's me.
Because your
Well,
parents are missing you.
But they've only been gone for 2 days, and Uncle Yus said that it was a sleepover and I'd have fun. And they
Yeah,
knew. He said he asked them and they were okay with it.
yeah, but Uncle Yus can't come here right now, so we're gonna bring you back to your parents' house.
You can't?
No, he can't,
Can't he?
because he got really busy. He had he
Oh,
had
but
to
Uncle
move his
Yus
sh
is never busy.
Oh, because he
he,
got arrested.
You what? What do you
That's
mean?
right. Well, you guys were telling me about it.
Who's
He can't. They.
arrested? Was this because I broke the thing in that store the other day? That wasn't his fault.
Oh. Um. Should we tell the guards that?
Guards.
And this in the town that
hey
that.
Felix, hey, right now we just want to help Savva see that we're here to take her home. Okay?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Savva, do you want to come with us?
Good. I'm not supposed to leave the room, you know.
Yeah, but your parents really want you home.
Did they tell you that?
Yeah, they did.
I'd like you to make a deception check for me.
Okay. Big money, big money, big money. Fuck yeah. 23.
All right. She looks at you, and after a bit, she goes, "Okay. I mean, if they told you to." And you said you
Yeah.
talked to Uncle Yes too.
Yeah, he did. He's just
He said he
busy
was
right
okay.
now. Yeah, he's okay. So do you have anything here you need to grab before you go? Anything? Any toys or anything that you need?
No. I mean, he kind of came in the middle of the night and told me we were having a sleepover. So I don't really have any. Wait, I do. Wait. And then she turns over to her bed and she pulls off one of the items on the bed, which is a little bear stuffy, and she hugs it. Okay, now I'm good. Let's
Does the bear
go.
have a name?
This is Yasa.
Yessa?
Yeah,
Good to meet you, Yessa. I'm excited you can come along with us.
I got her from Uncle Yes's store. That's why she's called Yasa.
That's so cool. All right. Well, let's head out.
As we begin heading out, like almost like ocean waves crash through Felix's eyes. Is there anything magical around us?
You look through the room. While there seems to be some sort of magical ward protection around the perimeter of the room, there's nothing actually in the room that appears to be magical.
What type of magic is the protection room?
Damn you. Let me just quickly look up the rules of magic.
Is it just abjuration?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just abjuration. As you step out of the room, one by one, Savva, clutching her teddy bear, following behind you, with a happy little pep in her step, you make your way up to the top of the stairs. Where are you going?
I am going to say, y'all go meet up with the others. I'm gonna go check upstairs.
Okay.
Ye-
The roast is this way. Have you ever had the potatoes wrapped in meat?
No. But I've had a roast. That doesn't sound like a roast.
Well, yeah, I had to work with what I have because did you know that you have like no meat in the kitchen?
I've never seen the kitchen. I didn't know we had a kitchen.
Oh, it's this way. Follow me.
She follows along. Hi, you're making your way. How are you getting up to the second floor?
You said that it was like basically when we walked in, there was like a
The
stairs down and there's stairs
are collapsed halfway through. So you can make your way up half the stairs to get to the rest of the landing. It's about a 15-foot gap to the other side.
Are there stairs up in the tower in the back courtyard?
Oh, yes. Is that where you're making your way?
I was gonna do the tower.
Oh, yes. Sorry, my bad. I thought you were saying you were making your way to the second floor of the main building. Yeah,
No, like
you can make your way up the spiral stairs of the tower. It's much of the same spiraling stone staircase until you get to the top, and you see it sort of comes out in a little gondola-like section, with a railing around into the open air. The floor is carved in this intricate pattern of stones and symbols and runes. Some you recognize, some you don't. One you recognize from the center of the palm stone, back at Yus's house.
cool. Do I see anything of value up here, or from this vantage point, can I see any other like unexplored part of the like keep that might have valuable stuff?
I mean, you haven't checked the second floor of the keep, but looking out in the other direction, it's just abyss as far as you can see. In this little green courtyard space, it's followed by the ramparts and walled in by the ramparts up until it reaches the rest of the main building.
I will head back down and try and go up to the second floor of the keep now.
As you make your way in, you hear the rest of them in the kitchen as Felix pulls out the roast. The main entrance hall, this large marble staircase, you can make your way up about halfway, and then it crumbles into a pile of rubble below your feet. As I mentioned earlier, 15 feet further is the rest of the staircase that can make your way up. If you want to make a jump for it, you can. There is a railing to grab onto. What are you planning on doing?
I'm gonna go grab Treos.
All right.
All right, Treos.
Where are you at this point in time?
So while Kai was checking the second floor of the tower, I guess I was in the kitchen with everyone else. And were we eating at the time, or were we just like getting to the kitchen?
Leave that up to the chef. Felix, are you eating
yeah.
at this point?
Absolutely, yeah. If we are able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
The meal you made was essentially just like a baked potato with like bacon bits, or like wrapped in beef jerky.
Yeah, essentially think stuffed baked potato, but like stuffed with like vegetables and like roasted vegetables and stuff wrapped in meat.
Okay.
And some spices thrown on top.
Okay.
And there's a somehow I worked breadcrumbs in there. Don't ask me how.
You did stuffing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just would have been eating all that before Kai came back. But before I started eating the food, I kind of wanted to just wipe off some of the silverware with the cloth that we got from Justice's shop, like kind of cleaning off the silverware before taking a bite with the food with it.
As you clean off the silverware, you notice something in the silverware seems to shimmer. But you turn it into the light and suddenly it's gone. Then you go back to your food.
Detect magic. Does that see something when he does that?
Yes, and you have noticed this with these items in the past. This is the same cloth that came with the dagger from Yus's shop. You also notice as he cleans off either a fork or a knife, let's say a knife for this purpose, as he cleans off one of the knives, it leaves almost a shimmering residue of magic on that knife that lasts for just a moment, and then Treos turns it and the shimmering residue disappears. You will notice it is divination magic.
I was about to ask. Huh. I cast prestidigitation on the utensils for you, Treos.
Treos, you go to grab the next fork to polish, and then in a flash of dazzling light, it's just suddenly sparkling clean in your hand.
Oh. Okay, then. Just carry on eating.
Can you teach me how to do that, too?
Yes. So, remember the thing that I told you about the potion bottle and meeting the man that jumps out of the potion bottle and then forgetting everything else? What?
I mean, my parents always taught me about stranger danger.
Well, but strangers are nice and strangers are future friends. You should always trust strangers.
What they say in school.
Hold on. Let's
Felix.
not jump the gun here. That's don't trust. You shouldn't trust strangers all the time.
Well, but
But you're
most
strangers.
strangers are nice.
Well,
And they
yes.
only have your best intentions in their heart.
No, not all
Yeah.
strangers. No.
Well, have you tried talking to them and being nice to them? Because that's all anyone's ever looking for, right?
But in like an ideal world, yes.
Right. So all you
But-
have to do is you go, "Hi, my name's
No.
Felix,"
No.
or "Hi,
no.
my name is Savva," and you go, what's your favorite color?" And then they'll say, "What's your favorite color, Savva?"
Pink.
"Pink." And then I'll be like, "Whoa, that's crazy! I love pink too. Sometimes I make pink potions." And the pink potions, they take a bit of, like different fun ingredients. It's like,
do?
it's like the pink potions. Well, like, I have one pink potion that makes a cloud.
Cloud?
Yeah.
Why do you need clouds?
Because they're fun.
At this point, Treos, you notice Kai come in and almost and beckon you out into the hallway as the conversation between Savva and Felix continues, and you leave a disgruntled Reese looking behind.
We just kind of just wave off the Reese like now it's his turn. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, guy?
Yeah, I need your help. I can't leave. I couldn't bring Reese because I can't leave them unchaperoned.
Oh, what happened to you having all your stuff together, okay? You sure you're doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I just need your help. Okay, I'm trying to get up there to see what is up there, but there's a jump.
How far is this jump?
It's about 15 feet.
Hmm.
There's something I can grab onto,
Mm-hmm.
but would you consider yourself strong enough to be able to help me get across by like throwing me or getting me some momentum? Or do you think you can make that jump?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a consideration.
A consideration is good, but I need an answer.
How heavy are you?
158 pounds.
Fine. Let's just get this over with.
Or do you have any other ideas about how to get up there?
Well,
I could try and throw you, if you're okay with that. Or I don't know how you want to tackle this.
I
Like, I can try and like tie a rope to one of my hand axes and turn it into like a grappling hook to try and grab onto that railing. Like, we have options here.
got some rope if you want to do that. Maybe
Okay,
a crowbar or
Let's-
something, use of the hook.
let's try that first.
Okay.
Okay, I will tie rope to my hand axe and try and like throw it to like get it caught on the railing.
Say, make an athletics check for me to see if you can get it hooked into the railing.
Hey,
Unless you have proficiency in grappling hooks.
I do not. That's not bad. Athletics check,
Yes.
18.
Yeah, you are able to. And you throw the rope with your hand axe, and it chinks right into the gap between two of the railing balusters. And you're able to pull it until it's pretty tightly secure and leaves a nicely hanging rope for you to climb up.
All right. Do you want to come up with me, or do you want to go eat?
Sure thing. I can help you out.
All right, sweet. I'm going to climb up first.
You can make your way up to the top, eventually grasping the railing and pulling yourself up to less unstable stairs at the top before you make it to the landing. You see this open part of the landing stretches out, staring down at the entire entry hall, but further down to your right, you see a longer hallway that curves off to the right at the end, and on your left, you see a large door that leads off to supposedly more rooms that way. Where are you going?
I'm gonna wait for Treos to come up.
Yeah. Treos, you make your way up the rope.
Well,
On your feet.
left or right? Your call.
Let's start with left.
Very well.
All right, you make your way towards this large door. It seems far more ornate than any of the smaller doors you've seen yet today. There's almost golden gilding twisting through the patterns of this door. And unlike pretty much everything else in this castle, it's not broken, it's not crumbling, it's not torn down. If you try to handle it, twists easily and pulls open, and you step into what seems to be another large master bedroom. A large canopied bed lays in the center of the room. You see a wardrobe on one corner and a grand ornate writing desk with piles of parchment that seem to be pretty brand new, along with a singular, whatchamacallit? What are they called? A singular blotter sitting in the center of the desk. Otherwise, in the room, the only thing in the room is a large painting on the wall across from the bed.
Okay, I'm going to grab those parchment and just put them in my bag for later investigation.
All right, the entire stack of parchment.
Yes.
All right.
I'm assuming there's stuff written on it.
No, it is. It seems to be an empty pile of parchment to be used for the future.
Never mind. I will not be grabbing it and putting it up for later.
Sounds good. You do notice there are a couple of drawers in the desk. Two of them at the bottom seem to be locked, but the top one pulls open, and you see a couple of what look to be scrolls of some kind sealed tight along the desk, and then a singular book tucked in behind them.
I'm going to grab the book.
It reads The History of Demonology on the Continent of Faerun.
I'm going to put that in my bag.
All right.
I'm going to look at Treos and say, got 2 locked drawers. You any good at picking locks?
I can give it a shot. I just have to ask my friends real quick, and I just pull out lock picking tools in both my hands and walk over to the cabinet.
All right. I'm gonna have you roll to lockpick. So roll sleight of hand for me.
Oh, okay.
Which one are you going for? The bottom left or the bottom right first?
I'll do bottom left.
All right.
That is a 22.
You definitely, as you stick your lockpicks in, you turn and you twist, and you feel the pin tumblers click into place, and the door slowly pulls open. Inside, you see what appears to be a singular container of ink that has a strange purplish shimmering glow to it, and a long, resting in a almost a wrapping of leather. You pull open the leather and you see a long quill with an elegant peacock feather at the top end of it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm remembering right, I think we saw some writing at his place that had some writing that was unintelligible or undiscoverable.
You found basically a couple little jars of ink that I believe Treos you took, and some sheets of paper that seemed to have magic on them, but came off completely blank.
Cool.
Doesn't look like much on this side. I'll take a crack at the other side then, and just start picking the right side.
All right. You roll for sleight of hand.
19.
Nice. Yeah, just as easily as the last one, you're able to click this drawer open. You pull it open. You see this one is a little more full than the previous one. It seems to be a hodgepodge of there's a compass in there. There's what looks to be just an ordinary stone. There's a small, intricate gilded magnifying glass with a shell for a handle. There's a long scroll, and finally, you see what looks to just be a little pouch. You lift the pouch, you rattle it. It's completely empty, but there it is.
I'm going to pocket most of this stuff for later investigation.
All right.
I'm definitely going to be grabbing the pouch, the magnifying glass, the stone, and what was the first thing?
The first thing was a compass.
Yeah, I'll grab that too.
All right. Yeah.
We'll look at these later when we're not as time pressed.
Think they're kind of important?
No, I have no idea, but better safe than sorry. I can use a compass in the future. I can use a stone to hit somebody. I can use a magnifying glass to read. I can use a pouch to hold stuff. So if they turn out to not be important, no big loss.
Right. Are you taking a look at the rest of the room? Is there anything else in the room you want to look at, or are you heading on out?
I kind of want to take a look at the, I guess, robe or anything on the bedside. See if there's anything in the pocket of the robe.
Yeah, so there's a wardrobe. You can pull it open, and you see a couple of cloaks, a couple of just normal black and blue and purple tunics, a purple vest that looks very familiar, and that seems to be about it in the wardrobe. It's pretty sparsely populated. It gives you the impression that this isn't a room often stayed in. It's more like there's things here in the case of an emergency. It's an emergency location to stay.
Okay.
I'm going to look at the painting, but just kind of only look at it.
It's think one of those Victorian era portraits of some sort of couple. They're wearing normal clothes. It's not a nobility portrait, but it clearly is sentimentality. You see the very distinct figure of Yas standing next to what looks to be a woman of about his similar age. She has a massive curly red hair cut short. And she's also a tiefling with 2 horns, but her skin seems to be a more human passable tan. She's in a plain work dress. He's in his plain work clothes, but they're smiling arm in arm.
Cool. I'm gonna turn my back on that and say, so where are you from, Treya?
Don't really have a set place. I kind of just travel here and there with a small group of people I know.
I feel that. What are you up to right now? What brings you into town?
Well, I was looking for adventure, maybe a little bit of entertainment. I certainly seem to have found it.
No, that's one way to put this.
How about you? All business?
No, I mean, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just kind of wherever the wind takes me right now.
I understand. You in the mercenary business like the others?
Not really mercenary, just odd jobs. Mercenary, if that's what odd job means, but not exclusive mercenary.
The two are interchangeable.
Depends on the day. Depends on the job.
Fair enough. You can probably check on the others. Hopefully the food's still warm.
I'm gonna keep looking upstairs.
Okay. I'll just
All right.
make my way out.
Shreyas, you're heading back downstairs?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to stay with Kai for a little bit while we finish the upstairs, and then we'll transition back to downstairs. Kai, where are you going? I mean, there's pretty much just straight now down the hallway to the other side. You follow the hallway, and eventually you're going to curve right. There's a couple of doors here and there. None of them are locked. If you open them, they seem to be storage rooms, or, oh, there's a bunch of chairs there, or, oh, that's where a couple of paintings are. But eventually you curve down to the right, and you make your way to what appears to be a small library. It was once a library, I should say. There's shelves, and you see several reading tables. You see a fireplace and moth-eaten chairs that are pretty much picked to shreds at this point. And you see shelves upon shelves upon shelves of no books.
I'm just gonna kind of look around the room and see if anything sticks out.
Yeah. There's a large window peering out into the abyss. You actually notice this is one of the windows that looks down into the main entrance courtyard that you came in. Other than that, there's a couple of there are a couple of books stacked here and there. They seem to be almost like they were brought in from the outside world rather than they existed in this space originally. There are a couple of novels. There's some fiction novels here strewn there. There's a couple more books that you notice there seems to be a theme on demons and demonology. The only outlier being tucked underneath one of the drawers of one of the desks is you pull out a small romance novel that looks to be The Rogue Not Taken. But other than that, you make your way around and you find several other demonology books scattered here and there talking about the demonology of different continents, the history of the study of demonology. It seems like there's been a deep dive into this one particular topic.
I am going to touch nothing, and I'm going to leave there very quickly.
All right.
But I'm
You're
going
not
to
taking any of the other books.
not taking any of the other books. I'm just going to go eat my potato.
All right, you make your way back downstairs. Treos, you've been downstairs for a little while now. The conversation, I imagine, has kept flowing between Savva and Felix. But is there anything you all wanted to talk about during this time? Or what, as Kai makes his way back down and enters, what are y'all talking about?
Random stuff. I'm probably going over like potion ingredients at this point. Like I'll be like, oh, and then there's a iron root sap. That's known as Marina Radix. It's you can be used for like speed to make you like faster, or like I even heard that one time this guy made a potion that lets you like fly.
Fly. I want to fly. That'd be cool.
Me too. I'd like to get there one day, but I'm still just an apprentice. Oh, you should meet Bart. Bart would love you. Well, but he's not really vocal about it, because he sometimes it has trouble hearing me, even though I'm like right there, and I'm like, "Hey, Bart," and then he's just doing what he's doing, and he doesn't respond. Uh, Even though he has a magic item that lets him hear better, I guess sometimes it still doesn't work. But he would probably really like you.
You see Savva, a large yawn stretches across her mouth as she's trying to follow, and she's interested, but she's also drooping against the table a little as she keeps along with your conversation. At some point, she turns to Reese and goes and tugs on your sleeve a little. Mr. Reese, I'm tired.
Well, we're gonna work on getting you out, getting you back to your parents so you can sleep in your own bed. Okay?
Can we fly there? Wait, you said you could fly?
No, I'm trying to learn how to make a potion that can make people fly.
So we can't
I
fly
can-
right now.
But I can do this, and I'll have Mage Hand pick up a cup and start moving it around.
That's cool. Can
Yeah.
you teach me how to do that?
Okay, so you're never gonna believe it. But
At
if
this
we
point, Kai,
go
you come
to
back
Bart's,
into the room.
if we go to Bart's place, we can go look in his attic.
This
It's
Bart seems
ton
like he
of
has a
potion
lot of cool
bottles.
stuff in his attic.
Yes.
He would like my Uncle Yutz. Did you know we're in my Uncle Yutz's backyard right now?
Oh, yeah, because we use the amulet that we have.
Of his
Kai, do
amulet?
you have it right now as he walks in?
What happened to his amulet? Uncle Yutz never goes anywhere without his amulet.
He gave
Did
it
you know
to
that
us so that we could
chaos
come
magic?
get you.
Oh.
Well, we're gonna head out right now. I'm gonna grab my potato for the go.
I'm going back to my room. And she hops down from the table.
Well, actually, Savva, um, you're going back to your room at your house.
Like now?
We're going back
Yeah,
to your parents'
yeah,
house.
we're going back.
Uncle Yes said it was gonna be a long sleepover, and it's only been 2 days.
I mean, that's a pretty long time.
Not really.
So that's like a forever time, basically. You think about it. I can't sit
My
still for
mommy
2 minutes.
is like 20 years old or more. That's a long time. 2 days isn't a long time.
No, 2 days is a long time. Have you ever like wanted something?
I wanted Yassa for a long time, but I had to wait until the solstice to get her.
Right. Isn't that horrible?
No? Mommy and Daddy says it teaches character.
Well, yes, but don't you get distracted?
No?
Huh. Do you know I can play do you know that I can play an instrument?
Which one?
This one, and I'm gonna pull out I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna pull out my I'm gonna pull out my shawm.
Alright, you pull out your sham. Are you gonna play it?
I'd love to play my
So-
shawm.
Okay.
3.
You pull out your sham, and as you pull it out, it actually gets like caught on the table, and it makes ding, a loud noise, and you go to recover, and you try to play a couple notes, but after a little bit, you realize that it's really just, maybe your sham is just not having a good day. It's not you. You're good
a
at
shawm
playing.
is kind of like it's like a reed instrument. It's like a
Clarinet.
it's kind of like an oboe, clarinet.
Then you try and play your sham, but like your fingers are sticky from the roast, and you like. And you're really exhausted. You're still running on only a couple hit points, and like you're trying to figure stuff out. But I think your sham is just really tired. Your sham really just is just not having a good day.
Okay, well I'll get back to that later.
Savva's gonna lean over to you, Treos, and go, "That was really bad."
He still needs a little practice. Savva, how about for tonight we get some good rest, and in the morning we head back out and see if we can get you back home, okay?
But it's like we just had breakfast.
Savva, have you been here before?
I just woke up. I've been here for 2 days though.
Yes, but has Just ever taken you here before?
No.
Oh.
But I always knew there was something in his backyard. He always told me not to go near the stone thing.
Well, Savva, we have to take you back home. It's going to be safer there, okay?
Safe from who? From the bad people Uncle Yes was talking about?
Yes.
So, do you know how to get home?
We have an idea.
You've concepts of a plan?
We have concepts of a plan.
We have concepts of a plan.
Let's grab some food. Everybody eat. I'm gonna go grab Akka and Zaire, and
We'll see if Hutch is out there.
Hutch if he's out there, and I guess I'm gonna look around because I and then I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna say in Thieves' Cant to Treos, do we know how to get home?
I just try and not look surprised. Look back at Reese and be like, I guess the same way we got here. worth the shot.
And then I'm gonna walk out and go look for Akka and Zaire and Hutch if he's out there. But if he's not, it's not a huge loss.
Long gone, but Akka and Zaire have actually, you've noticed they've started what looks to be a pyre in the central area of the entrance where they're burning the bodies of their friends. But the fire already seems to be burning down, and they're making their way back towards the entrance. And Akka, as they see you, they're gonna nod at you and, oh, is the road's ready?
Yeah, and the way home might be as well.
Well, damn. Care to share?
You'll see. It's you can't really hide it. You'll see. Grab some food and we'll head out.
Yes, sir. And they're gonna make their way towards the kitchen. You notice as Akka comes into the kitchen, they actually take a pause and look at Savva for a moment, and under their breath they go, I didn't actually think there was a kid down there, to be honest. But and they're gonna nod at Savva and grab their own roast. Savva, you've noticed, has gone a little quiet at the strange armored newbies who've entered the kitchen.
I'm gonna. She's in the kitchen then.
Yeah, everyone's still sort of harbored around this roast that's actually quite delicious. You all have to give Felix some kudos for his cooking.
Good job, Felix.
Thanks. I really tried, because I was like, at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a stew, because remember I told you that I was gonna make you the stew
Just
today?
for 2 seconds, can I please just enjoy this roast in peace and quiet?
You've had peace and quiet outside.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Plus, it's not like I'm trying to like hurt anyone. Just so you know, Salva, these are our friends. They didn't start out as friends, but then they became friends after. Well, first they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do some bad things," and then I was like, "Hey, don't do those bad things." And then
So these
now
are
they're
the
our
bad
friends.
people?
No.
Yeah, they were bad people, but now they're good.
No, stop it. These people were protecting you from the bad people.
Thank you very much. And at this point, Zaire just nods her head, and you see her face softens a bit, and she just goes, "With my pleasure," and grabs
See?
some of the roast.
They're nice.
I leave it up to you all. What are you doing? As the meal finishes up, the roast is slowly devoured. At some point, the quiet falls over the kitchen.
Do I still have the pendant, or was that like put into the thing and then like stayed there?
You do still have the pendant.
Okay.
The one that, I will remind you, suspiciously matches a carving in the floor of the second floor of the tower.
Yeah. I put that together. Yeah. All right. Well, we ready to head back?
Are we going home now?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Maybe I can tell Uncle Yes about all my new friends.
I'm just gonna stay quiet.
Savva,
Okay,
do you want
let's
a
go.
piggyback ride?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna lift her up and throw her on my shoulders.
She
And as we
giggles
head up
and laughs and eventually rights herself and wraps her arms around your neck.
And
Felix, you want
follow.
a piggyback ride?
No, I'm good. I'm as tall as you.
Hey Felix, you want a piggyback ride?
No, I'm good. I can walk.
But it's so much more fun up here.
Yeah, but I like walking. And then also it gives me something to do. And then also I can go between like from person to person. And I get to share my fun facts with everyone. Like, did you know that illithids, or they're also called mind flayers, they eat brains?
Ew.
I know, right? and they also like they don't talk, but they just like talk into people's heads. So it's like they think and then they're talking with you. And then they've also got these like little guys and they're like little walking brains with legs. Um and they're called intellect
I'm just going to be
devourers.
walking up to the second tower and get everybody ready and just get us home.
And this is Felix
Rambles.
bouncing between person to person.
As you all make your way out through the courtyard, up the spiral staircase, Felix's voice echoes really loudly in the enclosed space, but eventually you all make it up to the top and crowd into the small space that is this top gazebo-like second floor to the tower. You notice the strange carvings in the floor and the one that matches the pendant that Kai you pull out of your pocket. What are you doing?
I say, everybody ready?
Yep.
And then I place it in.
As you place it in, it almost becomes magnetic. It pulls towards the floor, and the rest of you see a purple pulsing light fill, almost flowing like liquid through the cracks, through the runes in the stone. And it's swirling, and it's swirling, and then suddenly your bodies feel weightless, and the world around you goes dark. And then the next thing you know, your feet are on solid ground. You blink your eyes, look around you, and you see the soft morning sky high above you. The hills stretching out behind you with the red peeking out from behind them. In front of you is the small cottage that is Yus's cottage. And sitting cross-legged on the palm stone, you see the figure of one red tiefling bounty hunter. And at some point she jolts awake. She was dozing a little. And she sees you all. And she glares.
I'm gonna nudge Kai.
Hey, Kara, sorry. We left without you. We found Savva right here. She's perfectly okay. With your help, we're gonna return her to her parents. And then this is Akka and Zaire. We're gonna let them go. How have you been?
That was great.
Thank
I
you,
don't know,
Felix.
I've been sitting on this rock for 4 fucking days.
4 days. Nice. Okay. Time works differently. Okay. Good to know. We're back though, and we're gonna take care of stuff now. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's start by getting Savva home, and then we'll alert the authorities. Just is absolutely guilty. But we don't need to discuss that around Savva right now.
As soon as you say just as guilty, I'm gonna start walking away with Savva on my shoulders like really quickly.
Wait, and she tugs on your shoulder. What was he talking about? Where's Uncle Yes?
Let's go find Balin. I bet he's looking for you.
But okay. And she keeps going. At this point, Kara's gonna look at the rest of you. Well, to be fair, you all look like you had a lot worse 4 days than I did.
Well,
I don't know.
we didn't really
Sitting
have
by
4 days.
myself
We had
bored
like
would-
what, like an hour or two,
Give or take.
maybe 3.
So that little girl thinks she was only gone for what?
2 days.
2
2
days.
days.
Okay. Well, technically she's been gone for 3 weeks, so let's get her back to her parents.
Yeah.
I think it's about time.
She's gonna push herself off the rock and turn and follow Reese with Savva on your shoulders. Are you walking to find Balin? Are you making your way? Where are you going?
Well, I don't know where Balin is either, so I'm just kind of getting her out of that scenario, trying to distract her from what Ty just said about her uncle being imprisoned.
Just guilty.
All right. Yeah, you're power walking. You can either go through the house or around the house. You don't see Balin anywhere, but you also notice it seems to be around early morning-ish. If there is a school, he would probably be there right now, but you can make your way. Eventually, Kara's gonna catch up to you. You know where you're going, right?
No clue, but and I just kind of motion back to Kai as like a gesture of like what he just said without saying anything. so you know.
Okay, well, parents' house, this way.
And I will follow her with Savva still on my shoulders.
Wait, you still don't have the necklace, do you?
We'll explain that in a little bit. Let's go find her parents.
Mm. And as you walk away, Kara kind of waits for the rest of them to catch up as the rest of you come around the corner of the house. But, Reese, you feel a little tug on your shoulder as Savva's gonna lean down. He's scary. He has a lot of knives.
Yeah, she is. She's interesting.
Mommy and Daddy say knives like hers are dangerous.
They are, and you should only ever use them if your life is truly threatened. Which should
Okay.
be rarely, if ever. You're only like 5 years old.
Okay. I mean, I like swords. Swords are cool. Uncle Yes has this really cool sword in his store that he always lets me play with. But it's blunt, so it can't hurt me, he says. But it's really cool. He said he's gonna give it to me for my 10th birthday.
I don't know if I would give a 10-year-old a sword, but I got this, and I'll pull out my short sword and be like, "Does it look like this?" And like hold it up as we're walking.
Can I hold it? Can I hold it? Can I?
How about when well, it's not blunt like your uncle's, so I don't want you to hurt yourself because we just went over the swords and knives are bad thing.
Yeah, but that was like 5 minutes ago, and now I want to hold your sword.
You know what? Yeah, what if I give you like a smaller version of it, just to hold? And I will pull out my dagger from my other side, put my sword back and pull out the dagger, and reach up and hand it to her. No,
She's
please
gonna
don't.
grasp it in one hand, and then lean down. Do you have a baby sword for Yussa?
No, but I bet Felix can make one for her.
That's okay. She's probably too young for a sword anyways.
We can make her a little wooden sword or something.
Yeah!
I
That
bet we
sounds
can do
good.
that.
At this point, the rest of you all have caught up to Kara and Reese and Savva walking along. Kara seems to almost be leading the way a bit towards where you presume her family's home is. At this point, the sun, which had been touching the horizon behind the hills, you notice, while it had looked like morning when you came to, it's actually sunset, and the sun starts to go down. It gets darker as you wander the streets, and eventually you come to cast in twilight a small cottage where two figures seem to be moving around in the garden, but also just sort of living. And at this point, they see you, Reese, and they see Savva, and one of them gives a sobbing cry and runs towards you as you see the figure of Savva's mother.
I will take her off my shoulders, and as I do so, I will take the dagger from her. And I'll let her go and take a step back.
She's immediately engulfed in a giant hug. Her father not far behind, and her parents, you see tears streaming down their faces as they sob and hug her. Savva, she is confused, but she's happy to get the hugs, but at some point as her parents pulled away, she's like, "Mommy, why are you crying? I was only gone for a little bit." And her mother is like, "Oh, Savva, honey." Oh, and she just hugs her again. Their father straightens up and he looks at Kara and nods, and he looks at you. "You brought her home. Thank you. Thank you." And he goes to shake your hand.
I'll shake it back. I won't say anything. I'll just like nod and shake his hand.
Savva's mother straightens. We can't thank you enough, but can we offer you dinner? Please, come in, please." And she's already kind of ushering Savva back towards the door, but as she looks back, she turns back to her husband and she's like, "Valorix, get them inside, please." And Valorix is like, "Well, I mean, she's not to be denied. Why don't you all come in? We were just putting on a roast that's feeding way too many people. And we don't have enough seats at our table, but we might as well celebrate. Come in, come in, come in. And he ushers you all inside.
Alright.
At this point, you'll have noticed that Akka and Hutch Akka and Zaire have kind of separated off. They're not really following you back to this little girl's house, but you can all step inside as the sun sets behind you.
Alrighty.
Following them in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you step into this dark. As you step into the house, the warm smell of a meat-filled Sunday roast fills your nostrils. But you are ushered over to a table where you see Locks is hurriedly taking out more plates and setting more places, and every couple of seconds she stops to hug and kiss Savva. You see there's still tears streaming down her face, but she's trying to compose herself. After a moment, she comes back out with a giant roast and sets it in the center of the table. And sit, please. I'm so sorry. Please, sit, enjoy. And then she steps back out into the other room.
I'm going to be eating a lot.
Yeah, you can quickly dig into the roast. You can talk. A soft conversation happens, but to some extent, despite the happiness of the reunion, it is a somber event because of the nature of the reunion. And eventually, Tan Locks comes back in and sits down right next to Savva and starts cutting up her roast for her, and then cuts up her own meal, but she kind of pushes it around on her plate. The rest of you can eat your meals. At some point, though, as the night falls and you see Savva sort of yawns again, and her parents both stand. Everyone, as you all stand with them, they turn to you all. Thank you again. You'll excuse us if we have to get Savva to sleep, but thank you. Can we pay you? Please, here. Just a moment. And she turns over to the side table where there's a large box where she pulls out what seems to be a small coin purse, and she stuffs it in your direction.
It's all right. You've paid us with your meal and your hospitality.
I really would feel so much better if you please at least here. And she empties out a couple of coins from the bag and stuffs the rest of the bag towards you, specifically towards you, Treos, because she notices that you are not opposed to taking the bag.
Just
please,
ever so hesitantly, thank you. But listen. It's okay if all of us talk about something real quick while Savva's not in the room.
Yes. Yes. Val, and she turns to Val and nods upstairs, and Val nods and bundles Savva up and brings her upstairs. Tan turns back. Is everything all right? Was she all right?
Yes. Given the severity of what was going on, we expected to find a worse situation, but she seemed fine. Just, I guess, had her somewhere safe, but all the rumors we've been hearing, him being taken by the guards, just something doesn't seem right. Anything you kind of know?
I've known my brother wasn't right in the head for a long time. When his lovely Sasha passed away, and we were so happy to have him near Savva, because it was like giving him a little piece of the family that we knew he'd never have, and I should have seen it when he became more obsessed. He treated her like his own daughter, and he had these these interests that I wasn't crazy about Savva being around. He kept rambling about and she looks, you see as she looks away and sort of catches herself. She pauses and looks at Kara, then looks back at you, and I never expected he would do something like this. But to be entirely honest, he's not okay, and he hasn't been for a long time. And his execution will be better for it. But I'm just glad we have Savva back. Thank you.
It was our pleasure, but how could someone like just out of nowhere just go overboard? Everyone around town seemed to...
I found a lot of demonology stuff in the place where we were. Just a heads up, everybody. So I assume it had something to do with that. Sorry if that's a bombshell to throw on you, Miss, but just throwing that out there for everybody.
He was always obsessed with that sort of thing. Even as kids, he always thought there was something. I'm sorry, but I'm not thinking straight. But thank you again. I know I've said it so many times, but I can't thank you enough.
Of course.
We're glad she's in safer hands right now. Please, you two, 3, enjoy the night. Stay safe.
You as well. Thank you. Yes. Kara. I wonder if you would stay behind and we can talk about your payment. But the rest of you have a wonderful night. And she kind of ushers you all out the door while Kara stays behind. But...
Yo, we got paid before Kara.
Yeah, I think Kara's gonna make bank though, and we're gonna make like 3 gold apiece.
Yeah, but she's gonna go into freaking debt to pay Kara.
Yeah, I know. Treos.
Guys,
she took only a few. She kept most of it.
No, she gave us the bag. I feel like we probably shouldn't have taken the money, and it would probably be better if we gave them the money back.
No, I agree. I agree for like 100%.
Yeah, I leave it. Just leave it on their doorstep, or like on the door handle or something.
Do they have like a mail slot?
I mean, they have a mailbox at the end of their driveway. You can head over there.
I don't feel good putting money in the mail.
Can we just leave it inside their door?
We can just knock and then throw the money in and then run away.
Yeah, that works. I'm gonna knock on the door.
No, if that's necessarily the best idea.
I'm gonna knock on the door, open it.
Maybe not throw it in, but like knock when they open up, just like toss it inside and then run off and say like, hey, we don't need the money, thank you, bye.
Just tie the door handle and leave it there.
Crack open the door, set it on the ground, and then shut
I don't want to break and enter
leave.
though. I don't want to break and enter though.
You actually do notice as you all stepped out, you hear the deadbolt lock behind you.
Are we also just outside of our house having this conversation?
I think we're like not even out of the driveway yet. We're just like in the front yard.
Cheers, just go set it on our doorstep or tie it on our doorknob or something.
No, we're not leaving it out in the open where people can steal it.
Guys, listen. I just get up. I just walk over to the door, leave it on the doorstep, knock on the door, and then walk away.
Okay, I'm running.
You were ding dong ditching them with their money.
I don't take to the fact that we're leaving right away. So I'm just gonna stand there for a minute before I realize that everyone's running away.
I'm not running either. I don't know why
cool.
I'm running.
I'm walking away.
Yeah, I'm also walking away.
You make your way down the driveway. As you make your way down the driveway, at some point, Felix, since you're the closest to the door, you're the first person to hear. You hear a high-pitched, what seems to be a child's scream.
like pain scream or fear scream or
It doesn't seem to be a shout of pain. It's more of a a fear scream, the scream that you would have at seeing your worst nightmare come true.
guys?
The rest of you have also heard it.
I start running back.
Same. I'm running straight to the door, and I'm going to try and shoulder check my way through that door.
All right, you try and shoulder check your way through the door. Strength check, please.
And yeah, how long does this last? Do I want to use this now? Uh, just a straight up strength check?
Yep.
I thought 13.
I mean, it's a cottage door. So you are able to, as you barrel up the stairs, you slam your shoulder into the door and it splinters out on its hinges behind you. You step into this darkened hallway and you see no one seems to be there, but you do hear several voices coming from upstairs. The rest of you are hot on its heels.
I dive in through the window.
Yeah, Kai, as you follow right behind and you dive straight for the window, a crash of glass straight into their living room as you tumble up and onto your feet.
There's there's an upstairs, right? Like I assume there's an
Yes,
upstairs
there are.
window.
When you walk in, to your right, there are stairs going straight up to the second floor.
Is there a window on the front of the house?
Yeah.
Cool. Can I try to make myself make my way up the wall, like the side of the house? I will use if need be, I will use either some combination of mage hand and invisible servant to boost myself up. But I'm going to try to throw myself through the window to an extent.
Your mage hand and invisible servant almost form one of those cheerleading basket throws
Yep.
at the base of the house, and you run and you're able to boost yourself up and catch onto the like rim of the flower box of this window on the second floor.
Okay.
I do need a strength check to see if you can pull yourself up, though.
Sure. That's actually pretty good. Just strength check?
Yeah.
Let me double check. Yeah, that's a 16.
Yeah, it's your arms tremble a little, but you are bolstered by the awesome move that you just pulled off, and you pull yourself up. You see there is a glass pane on the window, but you are able to look in. Immediately you see 4 shapes, the small lump of Savva in her bed and 3 looming shapes around her that you can't fully make out through the fogged glass. The rest of you, Treos, you're also running inside?
I ran out. I ran through the broken door.
Perfect. All right. So I guess I'm going to have, since we are technically in a high speed moment, I'm going to have everyone roll initiative just to see what order we're going to do this in.
Oh, no.
All right, 25 to 20. 20 to 15.
19.
19. Okay. All right. 15 to 10.
14.
14. Okay. So, Felix. 10 to 5. 0. Okay, so Treos, then Kai.
Yeah, I got a 3, which I feel like makes sense considering I just busted through a window, despite the fact there was already a door, and I probably
A window that also wasn't particularly close to the stairs either. So
yeah, and I'm just lying on the ground in pain, regretting my decision.
You like that one Dragon Ball Z meme where he's like rolled up in the crater?
First things first, Reese, you burst through the splintered door. You hear the voices coming from up the stairs. What are you doing?
I'm booking it upstairs.
Yeah, you make it up the stairs. As you make it up the stairs, you see a figure block you at the top of the stairs. You see Tan Locks as she holds out her hands. Please, no, please, you don't understand. At this point, Felix, what are you doing?
I'm casting Sanctuary on the girl.
All right, remind me what that does.
Sanctuary. It warbs the creature from all attack. Anyone who attempts to attack the warded creature or make a harmful spell against them, or any negative effect spell, has to make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, they have to choose a new target or lose the attacker's spell.
All right.
Lasts for a minute.
What's your DC? Wisdom save?
Wisdom save?
Mm-hmm.
Or is someone making an attack?
You don't know?
Well, I mean, it's a 13 DC for anyone who attempts to make an attack on her.
Okay. It was a 14. But you do, I guess, with your innate knowledge of the spell, you do feel it doesn't seem to be a physical attack or necessarily an attack spell, but you feel something push against your spell, almost like it's finding a loophole, a back alley entranceway to this sanctuary you've cast on her. You're still crouched outside like a creature of the night on this windowsill.
That's my bonus action.
Okay.
Can I run through the window?
You don't have much lead up, but you can try and break through it. It'll be a little easier than breaking through a door.
Right, it's a window.
Yeah.
Do I have to make a check or something?
I'm gonna say you're able to ram yourself into the window, and you get some cuts and some glass in your hair, but you tumble down into this room and stand to
Wait.
your
Wait. That's my turn.
What are you doing?
Following after Reese ran through the steps. That's the only way to get upstairs. So just fall behind. That is then catch up.
The only way. You see Reese actually stopped by the figure of Locks at the top of the steps as she holds out her hands and she's saying, "You don't understand, please."
Is there any way I can kind of like slip through around her?
Yeah. And I'd say Reese is is an ally, so you can slip around him. She's not gonna make too much of an effort to fully stop you, grapple you. She's not really a fighter, but she is going to hold out her hands so you can slip around her.
Okay.
Yeah, and as you slip around her straight into Savva's doorway, you see Felix sprawled on the ground going, wait. You see the figure of Savva curled up on the bed, her arm grasped above her in the hand of what looks to be some strange... At first, it appears to be this swirling black smoke, but you see, the longer you stare, the smoke solidifies into a human shape. No clothes, but the smoke dances from the waist down. These long black claws dripping with some sort of ooze. You see two large horns curling towards the top of their head and a wispy tail. The figure has Savva's arm grasped in one hand and has a hand on top of the kneeling figure of her father in the other. At this point, Kai, what are you doing?
I'm going to run up, and I would like to rage.
Yeah, you can run up and rage. Are you pushing past Reese at this point? Reese, I would say, since Treos went by, you can also follow in the footsteps and go by. Are you pushing past Tan?
Yes, I'm getting it as far into the room as I can, and let me see what effect I get with my rage. Okay, I basically just get to teleport into an unoccupied space at the start of my turn.
All right, that's a pretty good effect. Where are you teleporting?
I'm going to teleport to right in front of the smoke thing that has Savva's arm in one hand and the dad in the other hand, and I'm going to pull out my great axe.
All right. As you teleport, the rest of you see the figure of Kai right in front of this dark, towering, smoky black figure. Reese, this is right as you come barreling through the door. Felix, you are pushing to your feet. At this point, the figure drops the head of Val Locks, but she still holds on to Savva's hand, and you see as the figure's eyes glow a bright red, and Savva's hand small black veins start to twist up her arm,
Is
first
this
casing her
an
forearm.
additional turn, or is
This is around the same initiative.
okay?
Small black veins twist up her forearm over her elbow, and just as they reach the tip of her shoulder, the figure lets go, and then, in a distinctly Kara voice, looks at you all. Thank you, boys. And then disappears, leaving you all in the shambles of this darkened bedroom. And that is where we are leaving today's session.